Hi guys, we're back, and today we're going to do eclairs. So, this is a real simple, easy eclair recipe. We're going to start with the filling first. And all we're going to do is we're going to take 2 packages of French vanilla jello pudding, or you can just use regular vanilla. And this is the small box, so you're going to use 2 of those. Okay, had a mishap. Okay, and then we're going to add our milk. You want to make sure that it's cold. And it's going to be 2 3/4 cup of milk. Now you're going to use less than you would use to make pudding. You actually want this to be a little bit thicker than just pudding. So I'm going to put that in. Let's see here. Then we're going to add 2 teaspoons of vanilla. I want to go ahead and start this first so that way we can get it in the refrigerator, and by the time that our eclairs are done and cooled, the filling will be ready to go. And this is just really, really thick. So I am going to try to just scrape that out. Oh goodness. Like I said, this is vanilla bean paste, so it is very, very sticky. But you can use vanilla extract or anything that you want. So I'm going to get my vanilla out and then we'll come back. Okay, so I blended it on high for 2.5 minutes after I added my 2 teaspoons of vanilla. All came out well there. And I've got this beautiful mixture. I am now going to refrigerate this, and then we're going to start on the dough. Okay guys, so our next step is to take 1/2 cup of butter. I'm going to try margarine. I'm out of butter. We're going to see how it comes out. 1/2 cup of butter, and then 1 cup of water, and bring it to a full rolling boil. Okay? And as you can see, I just got mine in there, so it's going to take a few minutes. Okay, so it's at a full rolling boil. I am going to, at this point, I'm going to add 1 cup of all-purpose flour. And I'm just going to dump that in there. And I'm going to stir it around. I'm going to turn off the heat, and I'm just going to mix that all up. And what's going to happen is it's going to start to absorb all of that flour. That flour is going to start to absorb all of that water. And you're just going to, it does get a little tough, but you're just going to keep mixing it around until all that flour is absorbed and it forms a ball. I'm just pulling it off my burner because I don't want it to cook. Alright, so at this point we're just going to transfer this over to a bowl and let it cool. Okay? So the dough has cooled completely, and I have 4 eggs, and these are at room temperature. I'm going to add 1 egg in at a time and beat the dough on low. Okay, and you don't want to continue on until your egg is completely absorbed into your dough mixture. Okay, and then just continue on, 1 egg at a time. You can turn it up if you need to, just to get your dough work through. Okay. You can also do this by hand, or you can even do this in a stand mixer. But you're gonna have the consistency of your dough is going to be very sticky. So this is coming along perfectly. I am going to add in another egg. I'm going to get this cleaned up, and then I'll finish off with my 4th and we'll be back. Okay guys, so I have beaten in the 4 eggs, 1 at a time. It may be a little bit easier to do it by hand because the dough is very, very sticky. So what we're going to do now is it's ready to pipe out. Make sure that your oven is preheated to 400 degrees. And I have just placed my bag with a piping tip in this cup. And I'm just going to fill it up. This is really simple, and I mean, Eclairs by scratch, come on guys, who's not going to love that? You can lift it up just to get the rest in. I'm using a Ziploc baggie. But like I said, you can use a piping bag or anything that you have. I'm going to work that down toward the tip and get that air out of there. Alright. So now, I have my aluminum baking sheet. And I'm not going to grease this. I am just going to pipe out an Eclairs shape. Make sure that you get those straight. Okay. And don't worry about the little tails. You'll be able to come back and fix those. These aren't coming out too straight for me. So you can pipe these out in eclair shapes or in puff shapes. It's entirely up to you. You're going to take a wet finger and just tap down those little tails. Okay, so don't worry about those. Again, you're going to preheat your oven to 400 degrees. When they start to stick, just wet your finger again. You're just going to pop these in at 400 for 10 minutes, reduce the heat to 375 for another 5 to 15 minutes. I'll let you guys know how long it took. It's going to be a little dependent on how big your pastries are as well. Okay, so we're going to throw these in, and when they come out, we'll be back. I'll show you what they look like. Okay guys, so they baked at 400 degrees for 10 minutes. I reduced the heat to 375, spun the pan around, and let it cook for another 15 minutes. I am going to give you a real fast tip here. Do these on a non-stick baking sheet or on parchment paper. I really didn't think they were going to stick to my aluminum pan, but they did. But that's okay, because you can see that even though I pulled them up, I have little holes that I can use for a filling. But we're just going to let these sit out for just a few minutes. You can see how nice and poofy they are. And we can put filling in all that because they're hollow inside. But we're going to let those sit and dry out for, I don't know, about 30 minutes or so. We're going to come back and make our topping, our chocolate topping for the top. We're going to fill these and we're going to get them ready to go. Okay guys, so while our eclairs are cooling, we're going to take 2 cups of chocolate chips and just about a tablespoon or so of milk, and we're going to place that in a double boiler. And we're just going to mix that up and let that melt. I'm going to go ahead and take it off here. You just want to combine that together. You can also do this in a microwave. You're going to also add about a tablespoon of butter. Okay, and you're just going to melt that together. Okay, I'm going to take this off the heat and work with it, and we will be back. Okay guys, so I just worked that together, and I pulled it off the heat, and you can see that beautiful consistency. It's silky. And it just flows really well. Okay, so we're going to use that to top our eclairs, and we'll come back once we're ready to fill them. Okay, so it's dried out for about 30 minutes. I like mine kind of soft and not as crunchy as some can be. I've taken a skewer and just poked 3 holes. I have our filling in that Ziploc bag, and I've just cut off the tip. And I'm just going to push it into each hole and squeeze the filling. You'll start to see it come up when it's full. You can get quite a bit of filling in here this way. Okay. And you're just going to do that with each of your Eclairs. Okay. And I am just going to continue this on, and then when I have all of mine filled, I will come back and we will put on the chocolate topping. Okay? Alright. Alright guys, there they are. They're beautiful. I filled each of them with our filling, and then I took the chocolate sauce that we made and I drizzled it over the top. These are gorgeous. They're delicious. I've got a few people that actually can't wait to tear into them. But really, I would give this a try if you have never done it before. I'll cut one open and I'll show you guys that as well. So I really hope you try this. Please, please let me know what you think. It's so easy to do and they taste awesome. Nobody will believe that you've actually made these in your kitchen. So I hope you guys enjoy, and please subscribe if you haven't. And as always guys, thanks so much for watching. Bye bye. I wanted to show you guys what these look like on the inside. I hope you can see that. They are delicious and they are full of yummy goodness. So again guys, try them out. You're gonna love them.